Hello everyone. Today we are discussing Orbicularis oris. This is a short essay question carrying 5 marks. So let us see how to present this answer. If this question is asked, you will have to present it under the following headings. So the first heading will be origin of the muscle. The next heading will be the insertion of the muscle. Then nerve supply of the muscle, action of the muscle, and applied aspect. So these are the headings you will present this answer. So first of all, if you see here, this muscle is the orbicularis oris, which is surrounding the oral fissure. So the muscle surrounding the oral fissure, this muscle is known as orbicularis oris. This orbicularis oris, it has two components. One is the extrinsic component and the other one is the intrinsic component. Now, we will first study about the extrinsic component. It is further divided into three parts. The muscle which is arranged in the superficial strata, the muscle which is arranged in the middle strata, the muscle which is arranged in the deepermost strata. So, first we will discuss the muscle which is arranged in the deepermost strata. You can see here, the muscle which is arranged in the deepermost strata is the incisivus superioris. The muscle which you see here, that is known as incisivus superioris. Let us see where this muscle takes its origin from. So the incisivus superioris muscle, it arises from the incisive fossa of the maxilla. So it arises from incisive fossa of the maxilla. Now the incisivus inferioris, this muscle, it arises from the incisive fossa of the mandible. After taking their origin, they pass towards the angle of the mouth, and at the angle of the mouth, they mix themselves, they merge with the other fibers of the extrinsic component of the orbicularis oris muscle. So we have discussed the deepermost strata. Now we will come to the middle strata of the extrinsic component of orbicularis oris. The middle strata is formed by a muscle, that is the buccinata muscle. So as you can see here, the buccinata muscle, we will see the buccinata muscle here. So the buccinata muscle, as you can see, it has three components: uppermost fibers, this is the uppermost fibers, then you have the middle fibers, then you have the lowermost fibers. If you can observe here, the uppermost fibers is passing to the upper lip. The lowermost fibers is passing to the lower lip. But the middle fibers of the buccinata muscle, they decussate, meaning the upper fibers of the buccinata muscle, they will pass to the lower lip, whereas the lower fibers will pass to the upper lip. So this is known as decussation. So that is formed by the middle fibers of the buccinator muscle. So middle strata is mainly formed by buccinator. Now we are going to discuss about the superficial strata. The superficial strata is mainly formed by the levators and the depressors of the lip, namely levator anguli oris. So this is the levator anguli oris, then depressor anguli oris. So these two muscles, they form the superficial strata. Now these muscles pass towards the angle of the mouth. Then they cross each other. The levator anguli oris will come to the lower lip, whereas the depressor anguli oris will go to the upper lip. So this is how the extrinsic component of the orbicularis oris muscle is arranged. Now we move on to the intrinsic component of the orbicularis oris muscle. This is mainly formed by oblique fibers in between the skin and the mucous membrane. So that is the intrinsic component of the orbicularis oris muscle. So what are they? These are oblique fibers in between the skin and the mucous membrane. So with this, we have finished both the component of orbicularis oris muscle, that is the extrinsic component and the intrinsic component. We have also seen that extrinsic component had three parts: superficial strata, middle strata and the deep strata. So having discussed all those things, now we'll move on to the next slide. So let us see the nerve supply of the orbicularis oris muscle. You can see here it is the buccal branch of the facial nerve, which is supplying the orbicularis oris muscle. Coming to the action of this orbicularis oris muscle, it helps in closing the mouth and it also helps in pursing and pouting the lips. So this action is the pouting of the lip and this action is pursing of the lips. So these are the action of orbicularis oris muscle. Now let us see what happens if this muscle is paralyzed, the applied aspect. If the orbicularis oris muscle gets paralyzed, it becomes such patients, they find it very difficulty in closing the mouth. They find it very difficulty. So what happens is from one side of the mouth, there will be dribbling of the saliva and also articulation of the speech becomes very difficult. So this is all about orbicularis oris. Thank you so much for watching this video.